All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings to the hopeful elect, pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe, in the sincere hopes of being delivered in these last days, all right? Now, as you've seen in the beginning of the video, those two clips that display the Chinese, social credit score system that's currently in effect. And in those two clips, you've seen examples of how people are named and shamed, disgraced in public if they transgress, even by, a minor, transgression, any of the laws that are held in place, all right? And as you've seen in the video, they put your face up, on the screens. They put your name and they put your identification number for all to see, and you are immediately demonized and also penalized for whatever transgression you have committed at that present time, all right? Now, the transgression could come in the form of you crossing the road, but using, the wrong area of the road to cross without using the traffic light system, so on and so forth. And you can immediately be penalized, in full effect. And your account, meaning your bank account, can immediately, be deducted for whatever the fine calls for, all right? And this is the kind of system that they're looking to bring and implement, throughout the four corners of the globe, all right? That's what the beast system is all about. It's ultimately about full control, all right? And this is indeed, full control. And the only thing that they need to further solidify and perfect, this system is the attachment of the MOTB, all right? The Revelations 13 and 16. Now, I have here in this article, dated April the 6th, 2023, and it reads, China Social Credit System Explained, what it is and how does it work? Now, it says here, the China Social Credit System is a broad regulatory framework intended to report on the trustworthiness of individuals, corporations, and governmental entities across China. In this introduction, we explain what the China Social Credit System is, how it differs from financial credit ratings elsewhere, and how it impacts on individuals and companies operating within China, all right? Now, what I'm going to read here is the bullet-pointed key takeaways, all right, because they're very informative. Now, it says here, number one, the goal of the China Social Credit System is to provide a holistic assessment of an individual's or a company's trustworthiness, all right? And one important thing to note is that in these structures, in this beast system that they're looking to make mandatory and implement in society, it's not going to be hard for you to be deemed as untrustworthy, okay? It's not going to be hard at all because they have very draconian and harsh laws and requirements from the people because it's all about control, all right? So it's not hard to put yourself in that red, all right, to put yourself in that negative look and be demonized according to this system, okay? And like I said in the video that you watched in the beginning, these people are being put on blast, for very minor, offenses, for example, like crossing the road, but using the wrong part, of the island to cross, something as little as that can land you with a fine, all right? And put you, in a negative light and have your face plastered all over the city, on those screens, okay? And that's the kind of, environment, kind of the world, that they want to bring forth. And they've been showing you in these series, in these movies where this thing is heaven, okay? They've been showing you They've been showing you, you know, through Black Mirror, right? All of these, you know, sci-fi and post-apocalyptic, you know, films and series that they've been putting out there is showing you this technology. But now we're actually seeing it with our own eyes, and it's actually operating on Earth. Okay? So it says again, the China social credit system, while still in development, is arguably an extension of existing social rankings and ratings in China, which have existed for millennia. Number 3, it says the consequences of a poor social credit score could be serious. It may affect travel prospects, employment, access to finance, and the ability to enter into contracts. On the other hand, a positive credit score could make a range of business transactions much easier, all right? So this is very, very serious stuff. And like I said, it's not going to be hard in this satanic system to be put into a category of not being trustworthy, okay? So it says, you know, if you have, you know, the poor social credit score, your travel prospects could be affected, all right? And I always quote, reference rather, you know, this documentary that they had on YouTube. I forgot what it's called, but they were showing you how, you know, there was one Chinese man, he had such a poor credit score that he wasn't allowed to have, you know, a proper internet connection, and he wasn't allowed to take the train. You know, he wasn't allowed to travel, you know, take an airplane, so on and so forth, because his rating was so low. Okay, and there's a few, you know, of those videos, you know, showing particular people in China in that circumstance, because they've gone against the powers that be, or they had, you know, particular, you know, opinions that went against their government, all right? So they were restricted very harshly, okay? So these things are actually happening. And it says here, you know, employment, you know, so if you turn up to an interview, well, you won't even make it to the interview stage, because your application, you know, they're going to know who you are, they're going to search you up, and they're going to see that you have a poor, you know, social credit score. So you're not even going to have a chance to even make it to the interview stage, okay? And it says access to finance, all right? And it says the ability to enter into contracts, all right? So pretty much if you have a poor social credit score, you're totally screwed. And like I said, they show you that in this particular, I forgot what the episode was called, but they show you that in Black Mirror, man. All right, where you had that woman, you know, she was trying to up her social credit score, and, you know, she so desperately wanted people to like her, and it was ruining her life, you know, because if people didn't like you, you know, upon their encounter with you, and they didn't, you know, like how you came across, they would just swipe you down. And by the end of the day, you can just be in the red, just based off for, you know, public opinion. Okay, so this is the level, you know, that Esau wants to bring these things to, man. Now, number 4, it says it is essential that any foreign business consolidating or establishing their presence in China seek professional advice for managing a social credit score. This applies both to individual scores and the corporate social credit score. So they've also put this social credit system, you know, upon businesses too. All right. So your business, you know, your enterprise will also have, you know, a social credit score. And that's why they're pushing this whole thing, you know, with the carbon footprint. All right. Now, when you buy, even if you buy a bottle of olive oil, you can look on the back of it with particular companies, and they will tell you about their, you know, their carbon footprint and what they're doing to maintain a healthy carbon footprint, so on and so forth. Now, by companies doing that, it puts them in a good light, because they're acclimatizing themselves to what? The B system, all right, and the things to come. So you have a growing, influx of these companies, all right, trying to give you that information and fall in line with the new beast system and what's required for the world to come, to put themselves in a good light. So those modifications and changes are already being done. Okay, so it just shows you where this thing is going. But ultimately, we understand that we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that, you know, Esau Edom is at the helm of all of these things, because he wants to be a God upon the earth. All right, and I want to get this scripture right quick, and then we'll close out. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4, and it reads, "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. All right. So this is what the devil is doing. Okay. And it's of no surprise that, China is being utilized to push and to be, an innovator, all right, so to speak, in this digital system, all right, because, they get into that technology heavy, and it's not very hard, all right, to push invasive and draconian technology on the people of Asia, all right? It's not hard at all, right? Because they're all into that technology. They're all into integrating, with technology and transhumanism, all right? That's already in their spirit. So they're kind of like the perfect, people, to try this experiment on, which is an experiment that's going to actually be, in full-fledged, throughout the four corners of the globe, man, all right? Let me read that in the NLT. It says, he will exalt himself and defy everything that people call God and every object of worship. He will even sit in the temple of God, claiming that he himself is God. And this is what, beginning with the elites of Esau, Edom, all right, are actually doing, all right? They're trying to claim themselves, to be the most high upon the earth. And that's why they want all of this data. That's why they want you integrated onto the system in every way, shape, and form, so they can know everything about you. They want to have full control over you and what you can and can't do in society. Full control, okay? So with that, Lord willing, this brief lesson was edifying. Until the next time, I'll say shalom.